We are live now on Facebook and YouTube. Shortly, we'll be going on live on the radio.
I'll check the sound card. Check if this one.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Sound card.
It's not the sound card. The amplifier for the headset is not trying to find the power. Let's stop the program. You just need headset for the feedback, sir.
So I can go on.
You can go on. Yes. Let me just find.
Okay, I'm going live now. It's on now. Yes.
The sound card is off.
Okay.
The sound card is off.
Yes, it is the second Saturday of November 2024. And this is the Vintage Talk Show with the Fad. Welcome. Good morning. Wherever you are listening to us on Top Radio 90.9 FM or watching us on YouTube or Facebook, you're welcome. From wherever you are, we hope we'll have a nice time together this morning, an intriguing time. All right, kicking off. Obviously, expecting my colleagues to join up. The traffic, the network traffic is like a log jam now. I'm sure you feel it in your area. Well, I'm your anchor. My name is Akintunde-Johnson. You are welcome. Fortunately, I have my my entertainment guru here. Good morning, AC Arogundade. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to a lovely day. We hope to hear and see from all of you. Enjoy with us today.
Yes, enjoy with us today. Let's kick off while we await the other fellows to join up. Well, whatever the situation, we'll be talking about Nigerian issues. About if we have a debate going on, but Mr. T is off duty today, and Alex hopefully will be able to sort out his network issues. We want to discuss about Nigeria, about the impending tax surge or tax reform bills, and then talk about the how will I call it the issue with our electricity, the national grid, the ailing national grid is as old as our troublesome refineries. But we want to find out what is going on, why the issue that we keep on having over these national grid collapsing sometimes 2 or 3 times in a week, if not in a day, you know. And then you have the implication of the American election, the ouster of Kamala Harris, and the return of the main dude, uh, Donald Trump. Now that will be our talking point. What we'll start with our focus. Alex, Alex, what's going on? Alex, what's going on with your speaker's going overdrive? It's causing some feedback here. The guy is not talking now. And the what have you done to our microphone? Alex, please let me hear you. Alex, speak. Oh, it's a bad voice, a bad.
It's costing some. Wow.
While we sort out queer technical issue, essentially about the network and voice and all that. Let me share with our ancestors' thought for this morning. Is if you get ready, I want your contribution. I want to hear your perspective on this. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. It says the eye never forgets what the heart has seen. The eyes never forgets the eye, I beg your pardon, never forgets what the eye heart has seen. The eye and the heart. Now, what do you make of that, Esife?
Okay, the art is. Okay, I'll start by saying that the eye is like,
The window.
yes, yes. So your heart is like the eyes where you can see things. Then the heart, in the heart you have different. That's where your mind is, and from the heart you have issues. You think about issues. So the eye can be related to the heart because in a way you can see with the eye. That's my own understanding.
It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's a very stride. You know, I really find it also difficult to interpret. The eye is the window, it catches the images, sends to the heart. Then the heart interprets it, and emotions come in there. The eye just sees and it just downloads to the heart. You know, so what we see will relate to it differently. Some will see a spectacle, some will laugh at it, some will be morose about it, some will be, deeply thoughtful about it, while some will say it's not a big deal, So our experiences and our emotions, color what we see. You get that?
Yes.
Okay. I hope you understand me.
Yes.
Alex is not back. Oh. Okay, we take on the entertainment piece. Yeah, briefly, who are my heroes this week? Interestingly, I have two in mind, and both of them are not here to hear me. Are not here to hear me. I hope they listen to it out there. Uh, my number one hero is Tokumbo or Jekunle. He clocked whatever he clocked. He never tells us. He clocked something yesterday. Yesterday was his birthday, November the 8th. And I wrote a piece about it. He had many comments on Facebook. And he's a wonderful man, selfless, humble, extremely intelligent, and helpful. He's an outgoing, not essentially outgoing, but he goes out of his way to help, to support, to help uh, help your dream grow. And he has mentored many professionals, artisans, artists, and all that. To you, whatever you are doing right now, talking about my kudos. Happy birthday to you. My second hero for this week is a young man that's been battling the entire Alex Ogundadebe. On Wednesday, he clocked 60. And the man never looks anything younger than, older than 50. It was so shocking to find out that the man he has been there since, you know. And Alex, Alex is a wonderful guy, very unassuming, quiet, very strongly opinionated about what he believes is right and correct. And he's a man of faith. I like his simplicity, his passion, his competence. And I've worked with him on some professional level, and I found him very, very competent and responsible. So those are my heroes for this week. Tokumbo Ojekunle and Alex Ogundadebe. Tell me, who are your heroes this week? Now we're back. And we're starting with our usual entree Nigerian entertainment news, global trends this week, and reviews of major newspaper headlines. Isife, are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready.
So let's shoot.
I want to inspire young people through football and music. Wobi. Alex Wobi is determined to inspire young people through both football and music. The Nigerian international recently released a second single, What's Love, featuring his close friend, SPKS, and rising artist, M. Brown. Iwobi launched his debut single, Don't Shoot, in June 2024. The 28-year-old expressed his desire to motivate young individuals to pursue their dreams. Growing up in a challenging area of London, I understand how difficult it can be, and I'm grateful to have a platform to make a difference, Iwobi said. I hope my music serves as a reminder that young people don't have to fit into just one category. I want them to feel encouraged to achieve their dreams and to focus on positive pursuits.
Yeah, go,
Good, lovely.
go. He's been my good boy since he left Arsenal. He's been he's been my good boy since he left Arsenal. And he's playing well for Fulham and Nigeria. It's a nice one that is multi-talented, and I haven't listened to the song, but I trust it will be good. Congratulations, Uobi, for that new, how will I call it now? New distraction, so to speak. Okay, let's move on.
I am in my Phoenix era, Tiwa Savage.
Ha 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 ha.
Singer and songwriter Tiwa Savage has declared that she's in a Phoenix era. The phoenix is a mythical bird said to be reborn from its ashes, symbolizing mortality, renewal, and life after death. Often depicted as a beautiful bird with brightly colored feathers and a long tail, the phoenix is associated with the sun god in both Greek and Egyptian mythology. Tiwa made this revelation during a recent interview. I am in my phoenix era. I have a phoenix tattoo on my neck. I have gone through the fire, and it feels like a reinvention. I am coming out stronger in terms of love, heartbreak, and where I am in life. I'm now at a stage where I accept certain things, set boundaries, and feel happy about my achievements. Reflecting on the craziest thing she has done for love, she shared, if I'm into someone, I'm really into that person. I have shown up at your house unannounced. I may not be as savage as people think. I am a beast when it comes to my work. I will call you 20 times if something needs to get done, and I will always find a way to make it happen. That's where the savagery kicks in.
I suspect when she says savagery, which is from her name, it's in the metaphorical sense and not literal. Anyway, I've been seeing her pictures, her do over. They say it's branding and positioning. Good luck to her. Whatever makes you feel happy, and we don't inflict or injure or impede any other person's progress. It's okay. So far, you are within your own lane, and she appears to be doing well for herself. You know, and we should always just remember tomorrow that what kind of legacy are we creating? Is it worth the the while of the generation long after you or long after you have left the stage? Well, in any case, well done, Miss Savage.
Davido excited after voting first time in US election. David Adeleke, widely known as Davido, made history on Tuesday, 5th November, by casting his vote for the first time in a United States election. The award-winning artist and Awuka singer shared this milestone in a post on X. On this day, American citizens participated in the US presidential election, voting between Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump. Davido posted a picture of himself proudly displaying his "I'm a Georgia voter" as in his ballot. His caption read, "First-time voter." Earlier that day, Davido urged American citizens to stay safe while exercising their voting rights, stating, "Election day, you all be safe as you perform your constitutional rights." Born in Atlanta, Georgia, on 21st November 1992, to Nigerian parents, he holds dual citizenship by virtue of his birth in the United States.
Hmm.
Congrats.
Congratulations, American voter.
Yes.
We don't know who he voted for,
Mm.
whether it's Kamala
Oh, true.
Trump. Interestingly, Trump won in Georgia. I hope he's not one of the Trumpers. Oh, is he a Kamala? Is he a Kamala? Or whatever. Good luck to him. And Nigeria has made it easy. You can have dual. You can be an American and be a Nigerian.
Mhm.
You can be a Briton and be a Nigerian. And you can choose to not, take one and leave the other, like Kemi Badenoch is supposedly doing, you know. Well, congratulations. I don't know if it's an achievement to to be able to vote, but okay. Congratulations to him. Okay, shall we move on?
Yes. Ayefele clarifies interview with former assassin.
Hmm.
Popular gospel musician and radio broadcaster Dr. Yinka Ayefele has addressed the public outcry following his recent radio interview with an alleged former assassin turned evangelist. The interview featured a man claiming to have been involved in ritual practices that resulted in the death of over 80 individuals, leading to significant controversy. Many listeners urged Ayefele to disclose the guest's identity and report him to the authorities. Ayefele faced criticism, with some accusing him of hiding the identity of a self-confessed former killer. Ayefele defended his actions by stating that he followed the guidelines set by the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation regarding the confidentiality of his guest's identity. He further explained that the individual in question, now reformed, had served time in prison before becoming an evangelist. He is not a traditional priest but a former assassin. He admitted to participating in armed robberies along the Osogbo Expressway and has been incarcerated 11 times. During the interview, I asked if he was prepared to face arrest, and he said he was, as he had already served his term and the offences were not new, Ayefele noted.
Well, um, we see a lot of that in other climes and all that, and it's not a new one. It's not a new one. We've had many terrible human beings who became born again, and I believe what is astonishing to people is the seeming flaunting of his what's it called? How will I call it? His escapades, deadly escapades, and as if it's their trophies, and people are alarmed and all that, you know. It's been professional about it, but you also have to think of the sensitivity of the people. But I would like to ask Bosun when he shows up, the legal perspective on it. If he's culpable, I mean, it can be. I mean, what they call something they call double jeopardy. If you have been jailed for something, can you be re-jailed for restating it and all that? But that's journalism for you. It's a catch-22 kind of a thing. You can't win it. You probably will lose it. Yes. Anymore?
Yes. Woman 2024 starts December.
You.
The Wale Olomo Memorial Awards returns on 21st December, honoring unsung contributors to Nigerian entertainment under the theme Celebrating the Living, Hidden Gems of Nigerian Entertainment. A roundtable on 14th December featuring industry experts will address support for veteran and indigenous practitioners, airing on the Vintage Talk Show on Top Radio 90.9 FM. The awards will be broadcast live, with categories including Lifetime Achievement and Special Recognition Awards for roles like sound engineering, studio management, entertainment reporting, and music production. Last edition's notable honorees include Fortune Otega, Amos McCroy, Marvin Papa, Femi Ojetunde, Zubi Enebeli, Nelson Brown, Wale Oluwaleyimo, and DJ Vini, with the usual virtual attendee via Google Meet, Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube.
Wow. Thank you. So we're saying this time next month it will be WOMA 2024. Last year was very interesting. We had 3 Saturdays. This year the organizers want 2 Saturdays. One Saturday, first Saturday for discussion, what they call roundtable discussion, and then the second Saturday for the awards proper. And usually the award is for unsung heroes, people who have done fantastically great things in the industry, but they are not usually celebrated or in the front pages of the newspapers. That's the essence. That's the essence and the perspective of the man in whom the award is being memorialized, Wale Olomo, a young man who died at 30, working strenuously. It's 15, 16 years of his life devoted solely to pursuing and exposing hidden gems in the Nigerian entertainment industry. So be on the lookout for it, and we'll keep you posted as we go along. Okay. Isife, are you done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you. So I still want you to hold on. Hold on. I don't know when it's chaps will check us back in so we can do other things. Okay. We'll take a short break and come back with global trends. What do we have? Azante and Psycho YP. Everybody would name himself Psycho. Azante and Psycho YP. Is a song titled Clear Road. I hope it's not a psychic problem too. Oh my. I say you should move closer. You're out of the frame. I'm sending global trends to you. They're likely going to read it. I can't see. What's wrong with these caps? Thank you. Thank you, Ojo Soya. Soya Ojo. Thank you for the encouragement. Have you seen the story?
Yes.
Okay. Please move closer. Yeah. That one don't call. One just come block. Okay, we have been warned. We have been warned on Facebook that the ad breaks included the video that contains music, audio, or video that may belong to someone else. So all we pay Coson and MC MRSC, MCSR here does not go as far as uh, anyway. We shut the music on going forward, or shut music off going forward. Okay, Steve, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Middle East Daddy. Okay.
I've not launched it.
Okay.
That was Claire Road, Psycho, and his friend Azanti. I hope it made sense to you. Well, we're back on Global Trends. Alex is not here, Mr. T is not here, so Esife has graciously elected to step in, and so we have here Global Trends according to Esife.
Middle East deadly mission. At least 40 people were killed in Israeli airstrikes in eastern Lebanon on Wednesday, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. The Israeli military said the strikes hit Hezbollah operatives and infrastructure.
Yeah, war is bad. Is all I can say because deaths will be reporting every day. The number now these are civilians that they claim they are Hezbollah operatives. We don't know who's right and who's wrong. Yeah, war is just bad.
Getting off the phone. Australia's government says it will introduce world-leading legislation to ban children under 16 from social media.
If it works for them, if it works, because exposure to what you see on social media. What do you think? Children as young as 10, 12 having access to at what age did they allow you to get to have a phone?
Okay. I started having a phone when I was a teenager. I can't remember the age, but when I was a teenager, I had access to phone and social media.
and all that.
Yes.
Okay, good for you. Maybe that's why you're a straight girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. Because it's the kind of things we see on social media, children very impressionistic and all that, or impressionable. It will damage them, their mindset, and it's not right. Well, good luck to Australia. Yeah,
Presidential selfie. Ghana's outgoing president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has unveiled a statue of himself, drawing criticism from fellow citizens who have been mocking the monument as self-glorification.
that's what we call it, presidential selfie. It takes a unique sense of how will I call it, of self importance, self glorification, to want to unveil your own statue, while you are still alive, it's essentially giving yourself not only a pass mark, an excellent mark for what you have done in government. You wait for others to do it for you, and well, politicians. Politicians and humility can't stand in the same, just like entertainers and humility don't usually stand in the same level, So, uh, one day that statue they will refurbish it and make it fine, or they will break it down because of one thing or the other. So that would be the lesson from history. Yes, let's move on.
Biden vows peaceful transfer of power. President Joe Biden has given a short speech reacting to the election results as Democrats in Washington began seeking someone to blame for Kamala Harris' large loss to Donald Trump. Biden defended his legacy and addressed the need for a peaceful transfer of power to his predecessor and now successor.
Wow. Well, half or do. The the man should start getting ready to leave. I think the election was fiasco for Democrats. The signs were there that they were facing an uphill task. Well, they gave it a shot and it misfired. Good luck next time. Kamala is still young. She may retake the list for another campaign in 4 years' time. Okay?
Hezbollah civilian network under attack. Israel has been hitting some of the civilian organizations linked to Hezbollah as part of its campaign in Lebanon. In a response to the BBC, the IDF said its operations have been planned based on extensive intelligence gathering and in strict accordance with international law.
Hmm. I hear you. I hear you. Let's move on. It's another Israeli story.
Israeli football fans attack in Amsterdam. 5 people have been taken to hospital and 62 people have been arrested after Israeli football fans attending a match in Amsterdam faced a series of attacks on Thursday night. Dutch officials say Amsterdam's mayor and authorities said that despite a massive police presence, fans of the Maccabi Tel Aviv Football Club were assaulted after their club's victory against Ajax Amsterdam.
And I read the apology of the mayor of Amsterdam. They're clamping down on anti Semitism. That's the charge that the Israeli government laid as the cause of the mayhem. It was bad. The number has increased. The number of people hospitalized has increased. So also the number of arrests, which is why war is not good. The after effects, it could spiral out of turn. Nations can go to war with others on the individual level and all that. It's needless. I hope we can get a grip on this Middle East crisis as soon as possible. Okay?
Harrods horrors. The London department store's boss has personally apologized in relation to sexual abuse allegations coming from hundreds of women against
Yeah,
its late owner, Mohammed Al Fayed.
it's a messy piece. It's a messy piece. More women are coming out of the closets to to. It's a messy thing. Yeah,
By the book, Sir Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses could be imported to India again because the government was unable to locate the documents banning its import. But there is more to this bizarre legal case.
really bizarre. they, they banned it for many years. Now there's no where is the ban the ban order? They can't find it, so they can now import it. Very funny. That book, That book, that book has history. Oh. Okay, let's move on.
Trump fixation. The US government has brought charges against an Iranian man in connection with an alleged plot to assassinate Donald Trump ahead of the election.
Well, that would be the third one. The man survived all. Some people claim it was all trumped up, it was all planned, it was all scheme and all that. You know, well, he has a slight bruise to show for it and some blood. You know, whatever it is, it worked for him. You know, but on the other side, it might be real. There are some people out there whose bearings are misplaced, and they have one reason or the other to plan their own kind of justice. Uh, but we thank God. We hope Trump will be okay until January 20 when he will become heavily secure. Okay.
War crime. A Russian court has sentenced two Russian soldiers to life in prison for killing a family of 9 in occupied Ukraine.
Yeah, that's so bad. Yeah. But it's just nice that in spite of the viciousness of the war, the country, Russia, is still abiding by regular justice and even handedness. So dealing with the soldiers for that kind of hideous action, it's it's invigorating. It's good to hear. It's good to hear that. Yeah.
Keeping families together. A federal judge has struck down President Joe Biden's plan to facilitate pathway to US citizenship for undocumented immigrants married to American citizens.
Eh, that's they are setting the stage for what Trump is planning to do to to migrants in their country. Uh, anyway, Democrats have been covering them, have been helping to what they call it, regularize their stay. Now the boy is coming to town, scattering the whole thing. Next few months is gonna be something else. Yeah,
Anonymous text. US authorities are investigating racist messages sent to Black Americans across the country, telling them to report a plantation to pick cotton.
back to this anti-racism. I mean, racism. All these, what they call them? Uh, is it all this ultra separatist and all that? You know, I see a period of mayhem. You know, coming to America, especially the black populace and Latinos. And I understand many. Anyway, let's not get to that. We'll talk about that in point blank later. I see a lot of stress for many parts of the world, a consequence of Trump's America. But let's move on.
The
Oh,
gender issue.
yeah.
Failure to win enough votes among women was a contributing factor to Kamala Harris' defeat.
Mm, okay. I saw a start showing that uh, amongst black women, he had she had almost 70 something percent. But amongst whites, it was less than 40, less than 40. So, but amongst that's white women, and they constitute 37% of the population. So it's a very hard case for him, for her. Then the Latinos too turned against her. The number changed, unlike 2020. The number changed. More Latino men voted for Trump than Kamala. I didn't get the statistic for Latino women if there was. Okay, are we okay?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. And shortly, we have been visited by our legal expert. I'll introduce him when we come back. We take a short break now to tell you out there if you are doing something bad. Say no do by Kiss Daniel. No do, no do. Bosun, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Fudge. What is that?
How you doing?
I'm very well, sir.
Yeah, getting ready for tomorrow's is it bashing
Uh,
or bullying?
no. Try and lose 3 matches in a row.
We shall see.
It doesn't.
History books are there to be broken.
Because they won 8-0.
That's shocking us, Abby.
They played Noah. We were not Noah. We are new generation.
Okay, and you will know that we are not Inter. They'll be waiting for you to be passing all over the place.
We're New Testament team.
You have no arc. Okay. Tomorrow is soon here. Hey, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, sir. Hi, Uncle T. Mr. Alex said he's having some network issues.
Yes, he's been trying. The voice will not show. Where the voice showed, we will not hear anything.
This network thing, eh?
It's terrible. It's been up from like 6:45 or 6:50.
Wow.
I would like to ask you, I don't know if you read anything about this Ayefele interviewing an former assassin that was like a ghost kind of
human being. He's killed a lot of people.
Yes. So I just want to hear your legal opinion about if you could be charged again or just been detained been in prison like 4-6 times or something like
that. I didn't listen to the interview to the ending. Was he ever imprisoned for this crime?
He said he was in prison. We assume that is for the crime because he's been in and out of prison for like 6 times or something like that.
If death is life for life.
Aha. So I don't see how you can get out of prison if it's really. I'll just take a short take from you on that. Okay? For whatever it's worth, before we move into the newspapers. We are back, and this is the Vintage Talk Show. Time is speeding, and I'm happy to have in the studio with me our legal expert and social development advocate, Olutu Bosun or Shifora. Good morning, Bosun.
Good morning, Uncle Fudge. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okie dokie. Well, you are aware before we start the headline reviews of major Nigerian newspapers, I would like to hear your opinion about this. There's a piece of news we read in Entertainment News where Ayefele, the singer and owner of FM, um, was heavily criticized for interviewing an anonymous man who claimed to have killed over 80 people, who was like a notorious assassin or something, some sort, who had now turned away from his bad ways and all that. That they have been imprisoned a number of times. They had done this and done that. But he was talking about killing people and all that, murdering people. Is there a double jeopardy kind of a thing? Can because there's groundswell of activity to get him to expose the person so that the police can rearrest him and charge him for all these things. What do you think?
All right. First of I saw a clip of the interview. In fact, I saw the whole interview, but I didn't listen to it till the ending. So, but when I saw it, I had mixed feelings that one, this could be one of those clout chasing interviews because we've seen people come out all in the name of wanting to make clout. That's the person testifying. They just say some gory things. At the end of the day, when the law comes against them, you hear them recant and they say that
And
they were
is a
trying.
prank.
We've seen that before. If you remember this man, Ayefele's boss, the late man, Yinka Olawi.
Kolalawi, yeah.
Olawi, yes. I remember he too had some. I think it was his third episode. This was way back in the night. Some guy came in like some spiritualist, and I think he called his name Sunday Jemmy Jaye Koko. By the end of the day, they found out that the guy was just all lies. So, and we have seen recently, we've seen all kinds of cloud chasing interviews by the interviewee who will say things that they never did just to get um, maybe public sympathy or to even get the public to know them, even for the wrongest of reasons. We have also seen interviewers, come up with very funny interviews, all in the name of gaining traction for their shows. So at the end of the day, you just find out that the whole thing was a hoax. Now, that's as far as that point goes. But in the situation where the guy has actually, or the guy actually did those things he confessed to, the fact that there's a part of the interview I heard where he said he's been to prison a couple of times. Killing one person under the Nigerian law is that's murder. And from what he said, those were deliberate things. It wasn't like he wasn't manslaughter where he did it unknowingly. They were deliberate acts of homicide. So, and under our laws, murder is life for life. At the very best, you get life sentence. So he can't be outside granting interviews, then killing up to 80 persons is not something that he will be out there. It couldn't have been pardoned under any ground by any
Hmm.
individual. So I think my conclusion is Ayefele will have to face the authorities to reveal his identity, and then the laws will actually come against that individual because you cannot, in a land as an individual, you were not sent to war. You were just there feeling cool with yourself, killing people. I even heard he ate somebody. There was a part of it where I felt actually acting that he said he's killed someone and consumed the whole body. So that is bestiality. So these are things that under our laws, the extent of Nigeria, it would definitely not just be put behind bars. One, it should be behind bars now. Two, it should be standing trial. And you can rest assured that if the facts are correct, then he will be given a life sentence, or at best, or he will be asked to be killed. You saw the verdict of the verdict at the High Court for the man, the hotelier.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yes,
In Ibadan, I mean, in Ife or something like that. Real one, something.
Yes, he was sentenced to death by hanging. That's just killing of one person. So you can imagine somebody coming out and saying he's killed almost 80 persons. That is maybe multiple hanging, if there's anything like that. So, but basically, it's life for life, nothing more.
Wow. So his case has just begun. Uh,
Sorry, quick,
what
quick
about
one.
the
Okay,
yeah?
a quick
I was
one.
going to say, um, the code, the broadcast? I mean, the journalism code that a reporter should not reveal his source. Uh,
No, when it
would
comes
that
to
hold?
crimes against the state, sources will be reviewed, even as in civil matters, simple as company law. There's something called lifting the veil. If the directors have committed infractions, the directors of a company. All right. Now, with some law, that's supposed to be anonymous and all that, but when it comes to certain instances, you will lift the veil of the directors of a company, and you actually know the real persons occupying that position, and then they will be taken personally liable for such infractions. So how much more this one? Well, it's a crime against the state. Definitely, even if the families of the persons killed come out and say that they don't want to, like they say on, let me use street parlance, they don't want to do case. It doesn't matter. A crime against the state will be prosecuted by the state, regardless of the position of the complainant. So, what I also want to say is, I think journalists, particularly now, I know the conventional journalists are very aware of the law because at some point in the course of their training, they must have done press law and a few other
Yeah, no.
laws
Yeah.
to their activities. But you see some of these bloggers, podcasters, all these new versions of journalism springing up. Some of them don't have any formal training. Some of them don't even have informal trainings on the laws that governs broadcasts and the ethics and
Okay.
ethos of broadcasting. So
Mhm.
I think how that will be done, whether by the National Orientation Agency, somebody needs to step in and actually let them understand that it's not everything you bring out to the open. One, some of these things are offensive to people's hearing, and then they contradict the code governing broadcasting and journalism generally. And then two, where you bring issues like this up, you're liable to reveal the identity of this person. We're not in a lawless society. Nobody can go on a killing spree and come out and start boasting, because the implication is that when this goes, the next thing you find another person wants to beat his record or wants to attain the same record. And then you create a society of lawlessness, an Obasian state, which definitely the laws that govern this land never permit. So journalists should be, or broadcasters should be careful the people they bring on board, because you will be forced by law to reveal the identity of the person. And to an extent, you may be culpable where you fail to reveal its identity. You may be brought in for conspiracy because you are the one who knows this person. You're the one who brought this to the attention of the state. That's it, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Bosun. That is very clear. And now let's move on to the newspaper headlines. And folks out there, you can join us and share your thoughts on some of the comments we'll be making about what we see. And the number to call is 0913 The number again is 0913 Let's see whether we can get in some calls today. We start with Saturday Independent. And it says, the lead story says, no end in sight for Nigeria's recurring grid collapse. NERC blames aging infrastructure, poor maintenance, vandalism. What northern bandits do to frustrate discourse. is one of some of their kickers. 4,000 megawatts generated nationwide inadequate, said Discourse. And finally, experts urge government to decentralize national grid. Boston, this is one of our major talking points. The grid collapse.
For me, it's one too many, and it sparks of maybe administrators not knowing what they're doing in this regard. Well, we know that by law, um, when you generate, even privately, when you generate certain megawatt, you will be taken on to the national grid. At this level, I think what we need at best, even if they don't know how to go about it, is a regional grid, so that this thing, we don't have these problems the way it's been coming on, so that the whole nation just can't be put into darkness. That's one. Number two is the fact that some of these things, like we have learned, and it's even said in the headline here, that some of the equipment used for transmission, not generation now, but transmission, are ancient, materials that stand. And definitely, because we have been told that generation is not the problem, it's transmission that is the thing. Now, so I think by now, if the minister and those in charge of power actually are abreast of development, I think these are areas they need to look at. Then also the issue of vandalism. That one, it's a big problem now for most facilities. I don't know if you recall, sir, immediately after Umari was done with Third Mainland, some guys were caught removing.
Yes, parts of the railings and all that. Yes, I remember.
I feel that our laws on vandalism should be taken to a higher level. It should be stricter, yes, and possibly for me, maybe life sentence or murder. Because if you come and mess up something, our commonwealth, there should be something, a stiffer penalty than what we have. Because some of those laws, you find that 1 year, 6 months in prison, something as low as paying 2,000 or 250 naira. So you'll be shocked by the laws that relate to this thing, because one small screw from some of this thing can put the entire nation in a state where we never bargained for. So these are things that government should look into. And then also, what happens to providing adequate security? There are too many policemen following individuals up and down. So those ones should be fully engaged to protect our commonwealth. But basically, I think this grid issue, there should be a state of emergency declared on it, because in 1 week you've had grid collapse like twice or almost twice. I can't remember when we had light this out. So it's beginning to look like a national disgrace.
Wow. Well,
and the cost of this, the people, because we've had to buy fuel now. I know we bought almost 100 liters of petrol this week alone at 1,000 something. I don't even know though. So at 1,000.
That's over 100,000 already a week.
That's something you didn't bargain for. How many people could have?
Wow, living Nigeria is now almost prohibitive. Wow. Well, the next paper is Saturday Tribune. It leads with this story. 1 week to Ondo governorship poll. Politicians win voters with rice, Gary, and ex-head of state pleads for peaceful election. It doesn't sound like a new thing.
We saw it with if it happened in America, we saw. I saw it for the American election. I guess you recall Rishi Sunak. distributing McDonald's. So
McDonald's,
politicians,
yeah.
yes,
All
politicians
over the
are
world, they put up.
saying so.
And
It's not
rice and gari are critical items now. Very, very
lu-
critical items.
luxurious items,
Oh my, oh my.
luxury items right now. So it might actually sway the votes
But
in
people,
favor of
people,
that
people can
small.
take these items. People can take the rice, take the gari, and vote their conscience. Is that not possible? You don't have to vote for rice and gari now. You can vote, can take it. It's part of your dividend of the democracy in quotes. But votes not
Okay,
for
so
gari and rice.
let's break down the voting of conscience. Are those people different from each other?
Oh God.
The conscience hasn't got options.
Hmm.
So the conscience might actually go for the person with the better distribution plan or higher.
Oh, higher gift items. Wow.
If I my conscience, I mean, it will tell me that somebody who has given you 5 cups of 5 derica of rice is better than somebody who gave you one because both of them will do the same thing when they get there. So if I follow my conscience, I
Oh
will follow
my.
the bigger,
Oh,
this
the
bigger
best giver, the bigger giver. Oh my. It reminds me of is it Cyprian Nkwesi's book? Uh, is it Man of the People or something? Is it
or
the bigger giver?
Achebe, man of the people.
Yes, Ajebe. The bigger giver is usually the kindest man, the animal prosper, the one that will win. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, and that's written in the 60s, and it's still on all over the world. So sad. And there's one piece of story that I want to, as a lawyer, I wanted to give this man advice. Yeah, he's talking at the bottom of the Tribune covers page. Say, my wife gets drunk, bedwets, beats me to a pulp. But the man tells courts. What will you advise him?
okay. Well, what I would advise him if he's tired of the beating, that's one of the grounds that constitutes one of the grounds for divorce. Because if you look at the laws governing divorce, the Matrimonial Causes Act, Section 15.2, in fact, Section 15.2C of the Matrimonial Causes Act talks about intolerable behavior of your partner being a ground for divorce. So I don't know why it's before the court, but if it's before the court for dissolution of the marriage, then it's got enough grounds because battery and all those things actually fall under intolerable behavior. And when you get, even though the Supreme Court have actually outlined what constitutes intolerable behavior and how some things don't even constitute it, despite the fact that we feel those things are intolerable to a partner. But the fact remains that if somebody is beating you to a pulp, you, the man, is being beaten for the safety of your life and continual existence, I think it's best for the man to approach the courts for dissolution of that marriage. As for the bedwetting, I don't know where that started from, but being drunk also constitutes intolerable behavior. So, but the bedwetting, he saw that if that just started, then it's a problem. They don't have to resolve. But if he had seen it before he got into the marriage, he might have to live with it until he finds a solution to the bedwetting or whatever he could do in that regard. But it's a ground for divorce.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to Saturday Telegraph. It leads with the unfortunate loss of the former Chief of Army Staff. It says, Tajuddin Lagbaja, ostensibly that's his father. Tariq's death may lead to my demise. Says he regrets obtaining NDA form for the late Chief of Army Staff. He always gave us hope in the family. I give thanks to God despite everything. It's so sad. to still have a father.
It's,
To,
it's, it, well, it's been said that the greatest loss for any human
mm,
being is the loss of a child. And
uh,
God will keep our children for us. It's a very sad
yeah,
one. I've seen a few things about the man that were quite impressive. You know, he was
yeah,
always, I think he had a better rapport with the soldiers on ground.
rank and file. Yeah, yeah.
Impact, you
Very
know,
charismatic. Yeah. Mm,
and the insurgents and their activities. But it's just a concern that the former CEO, I mean, the former person occupying the position went the way he did. This one too has gone, and I think maybe I heard Primate talking about the Oloyede telling the new person what cautions to take to prevent death. so,
you and this your private.
so I think Oloyede has to really, really, really step up his game both physically and spiritually. So and
From
we
that position. Yeah.
lives long. But
Wow.
we also pray for the family of we condole with the
Yes.
family of the departed chief of army staff, and we pray that
Yeah.
God will grant us eternal repose, and God will
Amen.
comfort. You know, he was a
Amen. It's, oh,
yes.
yeah. He was an excellent soldier. We commiserate with the family. That they bear this they have the fortitude to bear the loss. It's a national loss, indeed. Hmm. Adeu Lagbaja. Next headline on that same paper is bad leadership breeding new terror groups. This is from General Ikwamwe and Amakri. They say it portends grave danger for Nigeria's survival, that power vacuum and lack of governance in remote areas are to blame. What do you think?
In fact, I'll share an experience with you. Just yesterday, yesterday afternoon around 4 o'clock, I my car had a malfunction. So luckily, with prayers, I didn't know what was wrong. It was so, but eventually I was able to get myself to stadium. So I just knew that okay, this is my hood, whatever happens. But as I got into the bend, trying to get into Surulere under the bridge of stadium, I saw about 10 boys, young chaps, were like 10 to 12, just there afternoon during that
I mean
hot
the
sun.
number or the age? 10 to 12, the number or the age?
About 12 boys. They
Oh,
are
okay. Okay.
teenagers, max 21 from teenage
Okay.
age, but they were well built and they were just there doing nothing. And so my friend
Hmm.
was with me. That was a female. We were coming. My colleague, she was like, "This." She couldn't. Afternoon yesterday, Surulere, not Interland. I'm just trying to link it with what you brought on. That she was scared. She didn't know whether to get off the car. She didn't know what to do until rescue came and all that. But she wasn't scared for anything other than the boys who were there. They were mean looking. And the next thing she was
Hmm.
like, when we left the place, the mechanic came and fixed the car and we moved on. She was like, this, if this happened at night, it will be a
Hmm.
different game. This is truly, this is not Interland. So failure of leadership. I don't know what's happening. There's a whole lot of young persons who are idle, who have nothing to do. And these are easy recruits for crime and criminal
Yeah.
activities. This is Lagos, so this is land. And it goes
Hmm.
on that. So it's like it's a time bomb because our youths are not meaningfully engaged. All you just need is somebody with a wrong thought that will radicalize these people, and then you have a conflagration. And unfortunately, I don't know what the leadership is doing from Lagos all the way to the ends of the country, to the north, to the east. You go all about, you just see young people without engagement, without meaningful engagement. That's a
Hmm.
recipe for disaster.
Hmm.
So if the leadership doesn't step up, we will this terrorism that we feel we are fighting is it will be pale compared to what will come out of this. The only confidence I had was that in this relay, what will happen to me? So, but and it was because it's afternoon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine. So from this headline now that in the interland, these are easy recruits for crime and criminal activities, and it's purely failure of leadership. How do you have a demography that is supposed to be the hope of the nation not having anything to
I
do?
do. Doing nothing. Yeah. Hmm. That's the problem with unemployment, with the youth restiveness and all that. Well, our leaders should wake up. Oh, this is Saturday's Sun now, and it leads with the tax bills. Northern governors, senators mobilize against Tinubu. Economists, development experts differ over proposed tax laws. And lastly, Professor Yusuf says Tinubu's tax policies meant to develop Southwest. Apparently, Professor Yusuf is not an. This is one of the things we want to talk about in point blank, but we can just
when
this
I
tax bill,
when I
like you
saw
said, like
when I saw the
mm,
composition of the tax bill, I wonder if that thing was scaled in the first reading, because some people basically what it is that you contribute, they pull all the resources together, all the taxes, they put it together, they take out 20%, and then the 80% they redistribute to all the 36 states. But the distribution will now be based on what you have brought in.
yeah,
That's just a simple explanation for the tax bill
hmm,
that has been forward. Now, so you can imagine a state like Lagos will be excited, and a state like Jigawa that's got almost nothing to contribute will not find that funny. And you have more of that in the northern part. That's why you found that the north is has taken the
the more
gauntlet against this, because they
mhm,
know that we get the shorter end of the stick.
yeah. Hmm. Well, hopefully we'll find time to talk more about that tax bill. Yeah. Let's move on to Saturday Punch. Leads with South Africa. 7 countries queue to lift Dangote refinery fuel. Then another line says marketers await NMDPRA's approval for import license. They want to resume importation.
It's a simple case of a prophet is without honor, except in his own
Yeah.
house.
Hmm.
The members of his
Hmm.
own house. Because if other people are coming to get this thing, then what permit me to use this expression in Yoruba. It's a case of Balowe Kumolo. So
Hmm.
so that's basically what's playing out here.
Well, well, I read a piece from Dangote. What the cost they are selling into that they're disputing with other sources. The cost they are selling into at 900 and something naira per liter. How will it not be 1,000 plus? It doesn't sound caring. In any case, that's the landing cost in Nigeria. I thought they've been loading the crude oil since October in naira. Why is it still that expensive as a landing cost?
Uncle Fudge, the whole oil matter in Nigeria is so shrouded in secrecy that it's only the
Hmm.
initiates that understand the dynamics.
Wow.
Because I mean, from everybody's projection, the fact is we felt okay, we didn't have refineries, we used to import, the cost of importation, the landing cost and everything is why we have inflated pump price. Now, but since we now have a local refinery that is not importing crude oil,
Hmm.
the general understanding should be that the price will be lower compared to what was brought in from outside, which all costs have been factored in. So if what is being produced locally is almost at par with what was brought from outside, I think they should just open up, free up the market and let people.
Yeah. bring in whatever they. I mean, if it's cheaper, better. If it is so far, it's not toxic or adulterated. I don't understand all this this monopolistic thing, and then it's still expensive and all that. I mean, it's like you are now crying for imported fuel because when they were importing it, we are buying at 600, 700.
So
Even when they remove the subsidy, we still buy at 600.
the only problem with the importation is the undulation of dollar naira price. If it goes
That
up,
would be,
then
that
it
would be
will
their
affect.
problem.
It
That
will
would be
be
their problem. What you can afford. In fact, I wish you could just boycott
end
this
user.
thing in a way that if you are buying, if you must fill your car with 500,000 or 200,000, buy only 10,000. When leave your car at home, public
Will
transport,
get them.
so that if the thing drastically comes down, the consumption comes down drastically, they will sit up. Go and drink your fuel yourself. It's so annoying, it's so exasperating. Anytime I think about filling my car, it gives me a headache. It's not right. It's not right. Okay, two more stories on this punch, then we call it a day. One is very sad. The other one, but this one is giving me a headache. What kind of why is this government like this? Look at this headline. But soon the thing just went off.
So I had to reboot.
Ah, okay. I'll take it again. I have to play music to fill the spots.
Maybe
I
it
hope it
was
doesn't go.
that.
They just want us to read the headline.
So
Is this still recording? Because I think I'll go off.
No, it has stopped.
Aha. What does this show?
It's showing there your podcast has ended. Post for 30.
Let me check. I hope it stays.
This is a vintage talk show with Femi Akintunde-Johnson.
We're sorry. The Boston's microphone tripped off as I was about to read the headline. We suspect it's the headline that's causing the problem. The headline says federal government renovates vice president's Lagos residence 5 billion. Bosun, with 5 billion renovation. Is that a priority now?
Unfortunately, the same government that is preaching that people should endure is the same government that is ostentatious with spending on frivolities. Because I mean, it's the same. And then I don't know what it is with the whole vice president thing. Maybe because he hasn't been visible. That's why there's a whole lot of things. Because it's the same vice president they want to buy a jet for. It's the same vice president that built new residence for something billion or 100 something billion. It's the same vice president who want to renovate his Lagos house. How many times does he come to Lagos? How many times does he
Oh.
see when he comes around? Then did Oshiba destroy the place before he left for there to be a renovation thing this much? Or is there a new technology that they want to reintroduce to the place? Because all those things, it just erodes people's confidence. People don't have it's so bad, sir, that I know people who don't know where the next meal is coming from, and then they hear things like 5 billion for another individual that they are both citizens. If you all you need to do is to tell this kind of people, if you tell them to jump, it's not a case of them jumping again. It's a case of how high do you want them to jump. If you call them to come and create problems, because they just feel that nobody has two heads. You are telling us to endure, and then you are innovating a place where somebody hardly stays, maximum 2 times, where people don't have homes in the same country. It doesn't show seriousness. It's sometimes it erodes confidence in this administration and their approach to things. For me,
It's
it's not
worrisome.
very.
Okay, last story because they keep on taking your voice off. I don't know who's behind this or what is behind this. Last story, it's a sad one. It said, my son hit his head against concrete floor after 40 canes and 150 frog jumps, says father of the slain Ogun State pupil. How do you do corporal punishment? You give a child, it looks like it's not even a teenager. You give him 40 cane, 40 strokes of the cane, 150 frog jumps. What did he do? Did he steal the president? Did he steal the principal or what?
Some of those people are frustrated, and then I tell people that it's amazing how you grew up under some very harsh conditions. And when you now become older and you find yourself in the same position, you meet out the same thing that you never liked when you were in the same position. And it's amazing to me whether it's a traumatic reaction. I don't know, but I think it's just deliberate on the part of people. The same thing happens to lecturers. They will say, because I was failed, I will fail everybody who is doing the same course. If not for this lady, just Adetone, that has been on about this case, the thing was almost swept under the carpet. So she's
Yeah.
been abrasive about the whole thing. I may not be a fan of her choice of words and language, but she's been on this case. And that's why the thing has actually gained traction. Because they were going to just sweep the thing. By now, those people should be tried for culpable homicide. I mean, who beats a child that much? You give a child 40 strokes of cane, even if he stole the principal's car. There are better ways of dealing with things. Life has moved from this corporal punishment to better ways of dealing with kids. So I think our curriculum, not just the curriculum now, but teachers need to be properly reorientated on how to deal with children. All these archaic methods and modes of scolding children, they've gone. And there are better ways of doing things now. You flog the child to the point where he hits his head. I think the autopsy report will have to determine how far these people should be prosecuted.
Wow. Wow. It's so sad. On that sad note, we come to the end of newspaper reviews and we'll break shortly into with time on our side. Not really. We'll take a little short break and come back to hear the perspective of Bosun on the American election. Was I'm afraid to wait too long before they take your voice again. So that let me quickly see
But,
what
but
we have. Uh,
and it's
I
okay.
would like to.
My, there's no problem.
Okay, I don't know. It keeps on fluctuating. I want to know the implications of America in under Trump's leadership. I call it Trump's grip. We know that he's very insistent about dealing with on what did they call them? Unrecorded, is it, or unregistered illegal immigrants. The court have just cancelled a couple of days ago Joe Biden's effort to regularize the Americanness of immigrants who are married to American citizens. You know, the court has just rejected that, and he has promised that whatever amount it takes, he's going to make sure that at least 20 to 25 million that they call it illegal immigrants are shipped out to America within the 4 years of his reign. And he has promised some other uh, uh, hell baiting policies going to come into effect. It's every import into that every export into that country will be charged with another all kinds of things that will affect the world in general. Uh, what's your take in this reality that we have?
Okay, my take is that Trump has a business-like approach to governance. He's a businessman. He's a pure capitalist, and he sees
Mm,
everything from the point of profit for where he represents, and that rubs off wrongly with a lot of persons. All right. So, if you look at my own first position for me is if you look at the voting pattern, in fact, the general cry was the way the Democrats have allowed all this LGBTQ thing. We saw that apparently the core Americans don't really believe in that thing. So it's not an American thing. That was one of the reasons that people actually voted against Kamala. That's one. Then number two, the American economy hasn't been fantastic lately. I'm not talking in comparison to our own. I mean, they comparing themselves with the way it used to be. So
yes.
they knew that the Democrats actually dropped the ball as far as the economy was concerned. And they felt Trump had a better set when he was there. And they feel that he's one who can actually manage what they have, both at the international level and also at the local level. Those are one of the reasons why they actually brought him in. And then they feel he's got the grip to stabilize things around the earth. Let me just put it that way, because look at most of these warring factions, everybody's beginning to sit right. And then some people know that, see, this man is not all out for war. He believes in settlement, and then everybody, you take your portion, you move on. So these are some of the things that they feel that Kamala wouldn't be able, or the Biden administration didn't have, and Kamala wasn't going to be a better person handling those things. That's why they brought in Trump.
Mm,
Now, but on the issue of immigration, let me speak. Let me do the devil's advocate here. See, it is this man's country. It's we that were on this side that we feel bad with his immigration policies. Funny enough, with a country as small as Hungary, their immigration policies are worse. But fine, nobody, you have no business going in that area. And some other European countries. Now, but the thing is that this is this man's country. This is how he wants to run his show. Now, but another thing we also need to note is that this whole shipping of 25 million people away from the country in the name of immigration and everything, I think some of those things will be stemmed by the court. He will do the initial gra using the street palace to show that
mhm.
he's doing some things for, I mean, he's trying to step up his campaign promises and actualize them. But after a while, if some of these policies are offensive, I'm sure the courts over there will actually stem it, and then they might override his position. So that's basically my take. But on the immigration, it's his country. Is their luck, is how they want to run their show. We too to stay and develop our own country so we won't have to be running to another man's land. If you don't like what he's doing, leave the place, go to your place or go elsewhere. It's the same thing they've been saying about Kemi, the Tory lady, the Tory leader.
Yeah.
They're saying the same thing. And I've seen Nigerians ganging up against her, and I'm like, what is your problem? This is the people who
You
brought her
know,
there.
you know our
Brought her
story.
in this
And
case.
you know,
So what is your own? You stay in Nigeria, you are hating someone in America or in London. What to what end? You don't even know her, you don't know how what she stands for, what she supports. You just follow the narrative that she hates blacks. Same thing for this Trump. In fact, I've seen
mm,
people who have passports, they are scared. And I'm like, what's your own?
okay, one last thing on your analysis now. Remember, the courts is more like conservative leaning now, and it's going to even be more with Trump coming in. So I don't see any help for immigrants. I don't see any help coming in the courts for them.
Well, I don't think the court they will fight the thing until to a standstill. No matter how
Mm,
conservative the composition of the court is, the law is still the law. In as much as
yeah.
they may want to lean towards Trump, by virtue of him appointing them to the Supreme Court or a few things, they still have a way around the America is still America. And
Mhm.
the citizens' rights cannot be in abeyance because of Trump. These are fundamental things, and you can rest assured they will slug it out. He too will give everything he's got for it, but in the end, one man can't prevail over everybody. But he will show some initial gragra, and those things will be challenged in court.
Yeah, I believe so. You can't just have his way. But now he has the Senate, so all his picks will be easy picking, I believe. And then the it's likely to have the the House of Reps, and that will be catastrophic for Democrats. It, the next few months will be very interesting. I didn't get you. Sorry about that.
It's just 4 years. It's around the corner. I tell people that if you know how short time is, just go and borrow money. Say 4 years time, I'll give you. You just see that they come and knock on your door.
You're ready for?
It's already 4 years.
Okay, thanks, Bosu. Bosu Fora, thank you so much. And that's the end of our point blank for today. We hope we will be more together, so to speak, like others will join us. We have a fuller discussion and more time on I haven't heard from you out there. I can see some things on Facebook and all that. We'd love to hear from you and on this discussion. Bosu, we'll be taking a break and coming back with Let's Rewind. On Let's Rewind, it's our way of honoring the legacies of our great entertainers. We started last week. Every other month, we devote few minutes of the show to music that virtually became national anthem in the periods they were released. We call them chartbusters of yesteryears. Today, we visit the year 2001 and 2002. You hear this. You know this when you hear it. Is my car turning the tiller, turning past the goody goody. You remember the song, Bosu?
Yes, very much. Dreams first time.
You use politics as a benchmark. Bosu,
I used the video. We had that little boy.
who's
The
that?
the video to the song. He had one little
Oh,
boy in
okay.
the end.
Yeah,
Had the
yes,
set
yes,
and
yes.
so it was easy
Yes.
to remember.
Yeah. Tony was part of the Remedies, Idris, and Eddie Remedy. And this is his first attempt as solo. And it went viral, as we say now. It's a better. Well, apparently charged by the prominence and noise of Tetula's My Car, his brother, his colleague Idris Abdul Karim came out the following year with a Mr. Lecturer. Idris Abubakar, I mean, Idris Abdul Karim. This network this week is something else. Mm-hmm. As if let me ask them. I can't see the head of this thing. I don't know if I left it here last week. Mhm. Okay. Let me Google something like that. When was Like to Party by Burna Boy? When was it released?
Twenty 2013.
2013. Where is the 2001? What about Infana in Banga? By Two Face. Infana, Nfana.
7 and 4.
2004.
Yeah.
What kind of all these things? All this fake something. What about Reminisce? Kakobi Chicken. This is soulful and enigmatic balladier songster. Beautiful Nubia. Owurolojo in 2002.
22.
Crap. No, whoa. Olufumi. Olufumi, when was it released? When was she released? What did she release? 2001.
2012.
20,
12.
2012 or 2001.
Is it Olufumi by Cell Plus? Abi?
No. Olufumi. The artist is Olufumi. The song is Go Quick. Go Quick by Olufumi.
Okay, 2001.
2001.
1.
What's that? Olufumi Abi?
No, yes, go.
I don't have it. Àṣẹ̀bà òwúrọ̀. Well, it's been an interesting day as we prepare to leave, uh, take a new turn. The year is coming to an end in few weeks. We'll be saying Happy New Year. What has life been for you? What's your hope for Nigeria in the new year? How's it been at your own end? We'd like to hear from you next week and week after. What's Nigeria has done to you for good? We don't all want lamentation. There are things good that you can extract. However, tough it is. There's certain areas that there's something good and positive, and therefore giving us hope for a better tomorrow. Uh, we'll be saying our byes now, and we hope to see you next week. Uh, let's start with Esife. Esife, what we'll have as we go, what will you share with your people as we go?
Bye to everybody. Let's be hopeful, even though things are hard. Let's be patient. Things will things will definitely be positive. Things will definitely change. It might take time. Let's be hopeful, and we should enjoy our coming week. Enjoy your weekend.
As kind and wise words from Miss Ife there. Let's keep hope alive. It may sound like rhetoric, like do kind of a thing, but that's all we have, really. Hope that things will get better. Hope that our situation will change. Hope that Nigeria will become great. Hope that those who trouble us will be out of the picture, one way or the other. And those who have our care, our welfare in mind, will be in position of power. And then there will be like a glorious dawn in days and weeks and years ahead. Keep hope alive. No, as we say, be genuinely nice to people around you while you are doing it every day and do good as best as you can afford it. Stay blessed and have a great weekend. Thank God we have come to the end of the show. As